Welcome back to the mission. I'm Brett van Rensburg, the current Protea captain, Protea Fly Fishing captain, and today I'm tying one of my favorite flies. It's a Perdigon. It's a fly that we picked up in Slovakia a few years ago at World Championships, and we put a little South African twist on it. The fly is a traditional suripchic, and what we did was we realized because of the way the fly drifted, we wanted to create a Perdigon version of it. This is one of my absolute go-to flies, whether I'm fishing overseas in the World Championships or I'm fishing locally in our rivers. This will always be in my box. It's quite a simple tie as well, so the fly is made up of very few materials. You're going to use some CDL to build the tail of the fly. I think importantly, what you want to do here is you want to build it on the right hook and the right bead. So I'm using a 301 DOHIKU dry fly hook, and the bead size on this size 16 hook is a 3mm bead, just matches the hook really nicely. Once you've tied your CDL tail in, you're going to use some red holographic material to build a nice red holographic bum, which becomes kind of the pivot point for the fly. You want to use some Bead pearl wrap. You're going to wrap through the body into the head of the fly while building the taper, and you're going to finish the fly off with your solar res, making sure that the taper is pulled correctly across the fly. And yeah, that'll give you a Perdi suripchic. So now that I've explained the fly, I'm going to jump into the tying of the fly, and we'll show you how easy it is to do. So we're going to just start by putting the thread down, using a very thin thread for this nymph specifically. It being a Perdi and all, it's better to use thin thread to get the taper right on the body. I'm just trying to lock this bead in so it's nice and set. And there it is. Cut off the excess. Right, and then we'll build the body back to the point at which you're going to put the tail. So just before the bend of the hook, you're looking to put the tail there, which is going to be a 4 or 5 strand CDL tail. And you're going to tie it so that you have the same length as the body of the fly. The back of the hook, so that would be a little bit long. We'll just bring it back a bit, so it looks a little like that. Just lock that in nice and tight. We'll cut off the excess. I like to leave a little extra body just to help build the taper a bit quicker because we're using quite thin nano silk. Right, yeah, it's looking good. When you come back to the back of the fly, just to make the tail widen, just pull it down so the tail splits nicely. So you get a nice wide open tail. Then I'm going to use some red holographic to create the bum of the suripchic. This is the focal point of the fly. This is what attracts the fish in. Back. Again, tying forward just to keep tying and creating the taper. Tie it right back. And then we'll put that holographic bum in there. You can tie the fly with different colors, but the traditional one is the red holographic. And I must say, it's definitely my favorite version of the fly. Just going to double wrap it so we make sure it sticks nicely. Then we'll clear it out. Again, just making sure we build the taper. This fly has to have a nice heavy taper all the way through to the bead. Right, then we're going to use a pearl wrap through the body. Again, it's part of the attraction of the fly. There's a lot of flash on this fly. So we tie the pearl wrap in at the back. Once that's locked in, just wrap it up. And bring that pearl wrap all the way back to the holographic bump. Just like that. And then if you're using black thread, you don't need to worry about this part, but from a competitive fly fishing point of view, we often use white just because it gives us variation on a lot of different flies, and we'll just use a Sharpie Koki to color in what we need to. So in this case, I'm going to do exactly that. Forward, back, all the way. You'll probably have to do this twice in this case. Continuing to build taper all the way. Again, this fly starts very thin at the tail end by the holographic and tail, so you have to the whole way through just keep building a taper. It's very important. So obviously concentrating building more towards the bead, but just making sure the taper is nice and even. Right, and then just to touch up at the end, just to make sure it's all right from a color point of view, just take the Koki. Right, from here, you want to take your pearl wrap, which you tied in initially. You want to wrap this back through the body. Just going to give it the flash. Do you see in the fly? Even sequence of wraps all the way through, so you just keep the segments of the fly the same. Tie it off at the top here. Cut it off nice and tight. And then I'm just going to put a few extra wraps in at the top just to make sure it holds. Now you got your pearl wrap through the body. Use a whip finish tool. Tighten your thread. In this case, I'll do it twice. And the actual fly is built now. Now comes the interesting part. To build the taper properly with the Perdigon, you can use different materials. Some people use Sally Hansen, some use Solar Res, you can use Loon, whatever your preference is. Your trick here is you just want to build the taper in such a way that it builds forward nicely and you don't get any bulk. So once you put your first layer of Solar Res on, you just want to use your UV torch nice and evenly around the fly. Make sure that it's dried correctly, and then your second layer, you're going to slowly build the bulk of the Perdigon. Just building the top of it. The body is looking good now. Last touch will do the top of it. Again, just using the UV torch to make sure that it dries correctly and you get a nice even body. Use the black Koki just to cover the top. And then we'll cover it one last time to seal that in there. Just like that. what you don't want is if you put too much, it's going to run. If you get the right quantity, you don't have to be too quick. As long as you're not putting too much on, then you'll see the body gets quite bulky and it'll go a little bit out of shape. So the trick with solar is if it does get a bit bulky or thick, is just to put it in boiling water for a minute or two, and it'll thin it out really thin. And then from there, you'll be able to build a much thinner taper on your fly. And that's a Suripchik, Perdigon Suripchik.